What's interesting though is like, when we think of ourselves in like that animalistic aspect,
Yeah.
like it's art that really tries to make us be more human than animal.
Yeah,
It like
exactly.
because like if you look at like the reasons why
Hmm.
we started forming cultures and societies
Yeah,
and cities, such a good portion of it was based on artwork, on
that's it.
myth, on images that we've created.
If you don't have different artwork, you don't have a different culture.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
absolutely,
You know.
absolutely. And well, I mean, even like you look at like the artwork, throughout different cultures, just like particularly ancient cultures, how
Hmm.
different it is, but how similar it is at the same time. Like
All
admiring,
happening at the same time.
yeah, all
Yeah.
happening at the same time,
Yeah.
all like focusing on like the beauty of like the physical form,
Right.
depending on whether you're in like Greece with those super ultra realistic statues,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
or China with the what was that specific kind of artwork that they do on the pottery?
Oh man.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Where they
Yeah.
like hand paint those like scenes, those battle scenes.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
They'd also do it on like those really large like parchments too,
Right.
for like historical events.
Mm-hmm.
But it was their myths,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I don't know, it's really like that idea that myth kind of breeds that artistic expression.
Yeah. It does. It
Now
makes
it's
you think. It
yeah,
makes you see this world that you didn't know of, before. That's why religion likes to make so much use of it.
oh
It's the
yeah,
quickest way to get people.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah, create that emotional connection to
Yep.
an image.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was talking to someone online, and they had made a pretty good point. We were talking about censorship of art and when it should be allowed in
Mm-hmm.
public spaces. And
Hmm.
one of the things that he had brought up is that, well, look at the cross. What It's an image of a man that's being tortured to death in
Mm-hmm.
front of your eyes, like hanging there, either near death or already dead,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just in display everywhere. And like if you like look at it from that way without the spiritual context
Mm-hmm.
of it, it's such a kind of grotesque idea
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
putting a corpse out for everybody to see.
Right. Exactly. Huh.
So I mean, even well, I mean, even if you look at that image, without the spiritual context, like,
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of reaches at like the the base root of empathy that you have, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
Right.
that's kind of what makes that image so powerful. Like, it has a way to inspire empathy in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. That's true.
Huh. So let me ask you then. I guess like looking at it, from a modern standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting how like the modern mythology that we have like really influences art of like the different eras that we're in.
Yeah. 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 It's very complex nowadays. So much getting passed around. So many sources that people are taking from. You know. It's very interesting to see where art's gonna be, like even 10 years from now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, you look at it just how like different the music scene has changed in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I remember when like EDM and dubstep was just like underground.
Right.
It was underground music. It was
It
never
was.
gonna. I never thought it would be as mainstream it is now that you'd have
Oh yeah.
giant, tens of thousands of people just going for that genre at a
Well, it's that
festival.
underground vibe everybody is
Yeah,
collectively searching for, and
yeah,
that's where festivals come from.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean that underground vibe too. Like I don't know. I feel it's and I was talking to actually another guest about this earlier. It's the
Mm-hmm.
idea that like the festival scene, any underground scene in general,
Mm-hmm.
right? The idea that you seek it out and you have to kind of be accepted into it.
Right.
That like really like makes people's identity connect with something. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's well, I mean any art scene as well.
Yeah.
Kind of, you kind of have that moment where like you want to embrace a certain art form and you want to incorporate it into your identity.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's a very like personal moment because, in that moment you're feeling a lot more whole than you have in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's identifying with something that you're putting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.